At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.
Residential Tech Talks, lighting specialist, Residential Tech Talks.
All right, we are back on the Residential Tech Talks podcast, coming to you from CEDIA Expo and proudly presented by a swath of partners who have helped put this together this year at the show. And one of them is sitting with us today, the 8K Association. Mr. Juan Reyes, Executive Director, thank you for taking the time to step over here. And Greg Chacho, VP of Original Content and Image Capture.
Yes.
I was like 95% of the way there. I appreciate you both taking the time and joining us here for a podcast at the show.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yep, same.
How are things going? Let Juan, you start. How are things going at the show?
Going great.
Yeah.
We have this year set up an amazing booth, basically the 8K Pavilion, where we've got partners covering the entire 8K ecosystem, from capture, gaming, processing, encoding, decoding, displays, projectors. So we're really excited with everything that's going on this year. We've got some great, traffic coming into the booth. We've had several panels that have taken place yesterday, more taking place today. So it's going really great for us.
That's awesome. And Greg, how about you?
Oh yeah, fantastic. We've worked with the 8K Association, been a member for quite a few years now, and it's great talking with them and trying to advance the technology and the preservation of high resolution material, which of course IMAX started in. Yeah. And it's been going great. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, have you been to a CEDIA, Greg?
Yes, 2 years ago.
Okay, so this is CEDIA number 2 for you?
Number 2.
What do you think?
I love it. Aside from my professional affiliation at IMAX, I'm a big home theater guy, and have been for many years. So Joe Kane is a personal friend of mine, and do the whole calibration thing, and I'm shopping myself here for some personal things.
Makes it difficult walking around here. There's a lot of wanting.
Yes.
No, that's awesome. Now, Juan, I know you guys have had a presence here as well over the years. Your impressions of this year's show?
No, it's been good. There's just so much to see, and one of the things we love is to see more and more 8K. We've got more companies with devices that are supporting 8K, and that's for us, is helping to promote 8K, educate the industry about 8K, help the CI channel, the integrators, the dealers. So we're really happy and excited to see everything that's going on in that space.
I know, people watching this likely familiar, but I want to give you the chance to talk about the 8K Association, kind of the mission behind it and vision for the organization.
Yeah. So the 8K Association was developed in 2018. Currently we have about 24 different members, and basically the idea there is working with all of our members to help promote 8K, help advance the ecosystem, help expand it, and we've been doing that. We've got display manufacturers, we've got projector manufacturers, we've got set-top box manufacturers, because 8K's been around for a while, and we're really trying to push it, get more hardware companies out there, get more content creators there. It's been very exciting this year because we have IMAX there helping to support us. We've got Warner Brothers, MGM there. People have always been like, where's the content? And anytime you have a new technology, there's that whole chicken and egg thing. And it's like we did with 4K, just like we did with HD. So that's what we're dealing with now, but through our membership, we're really working together collaboratively to help promote that in the many different sectors.
Kind of tongue-in-cheek follow-up. Was there ever a 4K association?
There's several associations that were developed to promote 4K, but not with the label of 4K Association. Things like, more of Ultra HD, like Ultra HD Forum, Ultra HD Alliance.
So talk about the benefit to having this around this specific technology.
Well, the idea there is, trying to promote and educate the industry. What exactly is 8K? What do you get out of that? What does it mean? The whole idea of an immersive viewing experience that you can get in the home with some of the large screen 8K displays. Because the screens are getting larger and larger. So now like the average screen size is like 75, and you can go into a store and get a 100-inch screen for like under $2,000. So taking advantage of that large size, taking advantage of more pixels, can really give the home viewer a very immersive, super realistic viewing experience, and that's what we're trying to promote and push.
No, that's awesome. Now, as a member, Greg, talk about the benefits to your involvement with the organization for IMAX and just beyond.
Yeah, so IMAX is all about immersion, and in our theatrical experiences, our screens are 60, 80, 100 feet wide, even higher than that. I know, pretty big.
It's wild.
So
Yeah.
as Juan was saying, the TVs are getting bigger at the home. Everybody, yesterday's 65 is today's 75, and so on. As the TV gets bigger and the viewing distance does not change like it used to, pixel density gets diluted, right? So because we're not fixed pixels, so the density of 8K really allows and helps a viewer to be immersed in the IMAX experience.
Right. No, it's so. What does member involvement look like? As a part of the group, I'm sure meetings and conversations, but like what are those like, and what's it like collaborating with the other brands that are a part of the association?
Yeah. It takes a village, right? So we all and you can't do one without the other.
Right.
So we talk about getting content, right?
Yep.
That's one of the challenging things right now is just getting the right amount of 8K content and then preserving it throughout the chain and ultimately to our homes in an IMAX enhanced format. So we're all looking to that as the goal, as the where we want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Juan, at a show, obviously with the presence and having the show, a booth at the show here, it's the interaction with the community and things like that. I've been asking, everyone on the pod that's jumped on with us here, if you had one stated goal for the show, something you were looking to accomplish, what would be that one thing that you hope to get out of CEDIA?
Oh, I would say again, it would be more about educating the attendees that 8K is here.
Yeah.
People hear about it, it's like what's going on, for them to realize, wow, it actually is here. Wow, there is actually devices. Wow, there's actually content available out there. So for me, that would be the end game, for people to not think when's it going to be here, for them to realize it's here now and it's just going to keep moving forward.
No, that's awesome. Now, for you, Greg, same sort of question. I know it's a little different, I think.
It's about a changing mindset. For so long, we were used to just looking at screens and saying, "Can I see the pixels?" Right, and that's what everybody did. Is, "Wow, look, the screen door's gone." And then there's this feeling that maybe it's diminishing returns. That why do we need 8K?
Right.
But it goes beyond that. It's subconscious. When you walk out of a film, let's say that if you walk out of Oppenheimer and you saw it at one of our theaters that played it on film, you may not look at it and say, "Oh, that was higher than 4K, wasn't it?" But you come out with a feeling. You come out with an immersion of it touched you. And you may not know why, and that's okay. We at IMAX, we want you to leave feeling like that's the best experience I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we want the same thing at the home. And 8K is one of those things that isn't, it's not definable. I mean, it is in Ks, but for the viewing experience, you just want it to sound better than you ever heard and look better. And part of that, of course, is the 8K. It's also color depth. It's also dynamic range and contrast, but all those work together to make a great experience for the viewer.
Beyond the booth, what have you guys been? I know a couple sessions going on, some education, I think, as well. Talk about what you've been doing here beyond the floor.
So yesterday we had a session with the hardware manufacturers there. We had JVC, Epson, Kaleidoscape, and Samsung talking about their products, talking about 8K. We had a content panel later that day. We had IMAX, we had Warner Brothers there talking about what they're doing with 8K, the process of restoration, scanning, etc. And then later today we've got another panel with other content creators dealing with documentaries, other types of 8K material, and some technology companies dealing with the encoding, because obviously with more pixels, that's more data, but how to get that data compressed where it's going to be working at the same bit rate as 4K with the high quality of 8K 60p, and then integrators with cables, distribution devices, splitters, etc. So that again is more educating the attendees of these are all the different segments, and this is where we're at and where we're going with 8K.
Gotcha. Now, what's the feedback been like? What are those conversations with the integrators that are out there?
It's been very positive. For them, like a lot of the integrators are like, we are incorporating 8K cables throughout, because the idea is also having these integrators understand that working with their customers to provide 8K support, that helps them to be future ready. So that as more and more content becomes available, as streaming services, they're ready to go. They've got the cables, they've got the display, they've got the projectors to support it. Any
consistent challenges? Question to both of you. Any consistent challenges that you're seeing, whether it's the integrator or just from your seat that are that you could help address?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the cost of the larger screens, the higher resolution, but again, it's still a new technology. With any new technology, the early adopters, it's you're going to pay a little bit of a premium for that. So over time, we're going to start to see that that drop down a little bit, making it easier and more affordable for people to purchase the different pieces of equipment. So that's where I see the current challenge, but down the road it will be diminished.
Gotcha. And for you, Greg, challenges?
Yeah, I think it's native 8K content. But I must say though that when we do our scanning at IMAX, we'll overscan it way above 8K,
right.
And then we end up with an 8K or a 4K, and even a great 4K makes a great 8K up conversion. And so that, coupled with AI technology in the upscaling area, is really going to help in that area. Fill that in.
2 letters we haven't talked about somehow yet that you just threw out there that I'm glad you did. AI. How much of a role does that play in what's going on?
Well, I think to Greg's point, it's a big piece. A lot of the manufacturers have some type of AI upscaling technology, because the idea is, to what he was saying, is content is the part that's coming up. But if you've still got great 4K content, some of the AI up conversion capabilities of the displays, of the hardware, will be able to provide you with great 8K.
Yeah, is that helping? On the consumer side of things, I imagine it's a lot of education that has to happen as well, and also upgrading of existing equipment. Is that sort of, I don't want to call it like a Band-Aid or something along, like a stopgap for them in terms of being able to experience some of that content now, like get their foot in the door or whet the appetite?
It's really more seen as another feature. So that you can take advantage of 8K regardless of whether you're watching 4K or even HD. You can experience that in 8K with some of the great AI upscaling tools that are out there.
It's awesome. So just one last question to both of you. The year ahead, what's the sort of big initiative for the association and kind of what you're hoping to do?
I think from our perspective is we're going to be increasing our membership. I have several meetings with other companies out here that have seen what's going on, been at the panels and are very excited about it, and they want to work with the association to help promote 8K within the industry, help promote it within the organizations. So we're seeing that, and then also seeing more content become available down the road, which all of our partners are very excited to hear about.
It's awesome. Anything for you, Greg?
Yeah, just getting ready for it, right? We've got a lot in our library, a lot of titles that are 15 per 65 millimeter, arguably about 18K. So we're just getting everything ready to go. Yeah, I know. So we're just getting it all ready to go. So when we do have those orders, then we can fulfill them. Yeah.
That's awesome. I lied. Last question. Do each of you have a favorite 8K sort of demo that you've seen, or one that would really like blow the consumer's mind, content-wise?
I'm going to have to go with 2 of them.
Okay.
And really, we have at the at the 8K Pavilion, we're demonstrating some classic films.
Yeah.
We have 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
That was scanned and mastered in 8K.
That's awesome.
We also have West Side Story, and it's just amazing to see them. When people come and they look at that, they're like, that is just amazing. And of course, we've got some great IMAX material there as well.
So anything on your screens is immersive and impressive.
It's like if you have a chance, because it's like this is the only place really where you can actually see that high resolution content.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I concur. Same thing. And the great thing about that is people have the foresight, filmmakers have the foresight to shoot these on 65 millimeter film. So when you see these, you have the goods to begin with. And it does look striking. Yeah. Yeah, you should go by the booth and see it.
I'm a stop later today for sure. I'm going to need to be blown away.
Yeah, it is amazing. And just to geek out a little bit on
that's awesome.
2001, there's certain clips where you see the text in detail. On
that's
HD
so cool.
versions, it's just a blur, but here you can actually see the crisp detail. So
that's awesome.
Definitely worth a look.
Juan and Greg, appreciate the both of you taking the time, supporting what we're doing here at the show, and being a part of it, and look forward to getting my mind blown over there. So thank you for taking the time.
Going because I've seen that scene 100 times.
Incredible, awesome. Well, thank you again, and look forward to catching up down the line.
Great, thanks for having us.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, please subscribe to us on the platform you're listening on. Also, be sure to follow Residential Tech Today on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Residential Tech Talks, vendors, lighting specialist, art residential tech,
At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.